Hey guys, this is Chris from Trace. I'm going to give you a 30,000 foot view of our reconditioning solution. So our Trace was actually built on a live streaming platform such as Twitter. So every time you see a vehicle move or a note taken, it's done in real time, there's no refreshing, and it keeps everybody on the same page at the same time. Right here on the left are the steps. We completely customize these to your dealership and we work hand in hand to accomplish that. At the top dash right here, you'll see the vehicles in Recon, the total estimated value of the vehicles in Recon, your average speed to market, your average deviation, as well as you have these buckets to visually represent the time in recon for your vehicles. Down here, each of these tiles represent a vehicle. You can see the average age, the time in step, some information such as stock number, VIN number, make, model, etc. You also get notifications. So it shows you how many recalls, if there's any ROs, what step the vehicle's in, the user that's assigned to it, as well as the area. You'll notice right here there's actually a repository of notes, so it's basically an open conversation on this vehicle, and everything is time and date stamped to keep track of it. We also know that vendors are a big trouble point when it comes down to dealerships, so we developed a system to go ahead and track and deploy that. By simply adding a task on a vehicle, you could go ahead and pick from these predefined tasks. Each of them have variable costs, but you could go ahead and adjust them because we know each vehicle is different. So we're going to go ahead and assign a small pinstripe. We're going to do a light PDR. And this vehicle is pretty dirty, so it's going to need a complete detail. Every time you actually go ahead and assign a task, it automatically sends a text message to your vendor as well as a notification saying that this vehicle has X amount of tasks for you. At that point, they could go ahead and log into the system, go ahead and click this task button right here, and there'll be a list of all the tasks that are assigned to them. So at that point, they could just go down the list, marking off these tasks, completing them as necessary. Everything is time and date stamped, so you can fully keep track of your vendors and what they're doing within your dealership. If your vendors aren't that tech advanced or you don't want them in your system, go ahead and select them from the drop-down, click this print button, and it'll print out all the vehicles and the tasks that need to be completed at this day. With all these processes, it's not complete without reports. So within our report system, you'll see what we call as an executive report. You could break it down from different date filters such as 7 days, 14, 30, or custom range. At a glance, you'll see how many vehicles and their speed to market time. So within this time frame, there were 62 vehicles, an average time of 8 days, 19 hours, and 22 minutes, with a deviation of 2 days, 8 hours, and 14 minutes. We include the actual time of the department, so you could go ahead and calculate process waste time, which is basically the time that a vehicle is in hours of operation but just sitting there when it could be being worked on. Trace actually automatically calculates the reconditioning averages, so you have everything from the actual recon cost, your estimated recon values, any overages and underages assessed to it. You can see a breakdown of each step from process time, the process deviation, work time. We also set goal times, so at that point you can measure missed opportunity within those goals. Scrolling down, you'll see these two pie charts. The one on the left represents the parent steps, and the one on the right represents the sub steps. So you can go ahead and see at a quick glance where the bottlenecks are in your dealership. For example, on the left here, mechanical has 59% of the time within this time frame. And over here, you could break that down into the sub-steps of mechanical, which are mechanical work, comprising 11%, and then body work being 46%. We also have a trend analysis tool, so you can see how your dealership is actually affected by varying inventory levels. So you can see the green bar is representative of the actual inventory levels, the speed to market represented by the blue bar, and the deviation is by the orange. So you can see just by moving across each day, how this fluctuates with inventory levels and everything else that is affected by it. Clicking into these other little components up here, you could get a 7-day moving average of each of them. So the blue dotted line being the 7-day moving average of the speed to market, and the orange one representing the 7-day moving average of the deviation. So viewing this and utilizing this to kind of measure your performance helps you identify trends within your dealership. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes down to Trace. I touch on a few of the components that are major trouble points within a dealership. Trace is actually enriched with many different features that aid in different components of the reconditioning process. We look forward in the ability to help your reconditioning process become more efficient, smarter, open up communication, and make your guys' life a heck of a lot easier. Thanks for the time. I hope you guys have a good day.